A Wi-Fi enabled water sensor that can notify you when you have a leak, even if you're 500 miles away. Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here, and as a homeowner, I'm always worried about water leaks in places I don't visit very often. For example, my basement, underneath my water heater, under the sink in my kitchen. How often do you check those to see if there's any water leakage? Enter this. This is so cool. This is the SimpleSense Wi-Fi leak detector, and with its 3-foot probe, it's super easy. You plug it in, you set the probe where you want it to, you pair it with your phone and give it Wi-Fi information so it doesn't need your phone to be present to work. And then if it detects a water leak, it will send a notification to the app, and the app will notify you, email you. The sensor itself will have an alarm. It's not a very loud one, but there's a lot going on. It's really pretty slick, and it's really a set and forget. It's powered by 2 AAA batteries included, and that gives you about 2 years of protection. When you need to change the batteries, it's a little tricky. There's a little spot in the back. You pop the rubber seal out. There's a screw. You unscrew that. You pop the top off, and that's it. And then there's 2 batteries right there. You take them out, put in fresh ones, screw the whole thing back together, put it back where you were, and then set a reminder on your calendar for 2 years down the road. That's pretty easy. So where could you put one of these? Well, like I said, you could definitely put it by your water heater, but you can put it in your attic, in your basement, under a sink. You can put it by your washer and dryer. You can put it by your sump pump if you have one of those, which I do in my basement. So it also will detect if there's a freeze. That's also critically important because, you know, the cost of one of these and being able to deal with the issue when it just gets there, as opposed to going into the basement and wondering why there's 7 inches of water on the floor. Yikes, that's thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage versus one of these. No brainer. So let me show you how it works. So the app is the SimpleSense app. Free download for iPhone or Android. And as you can see, I actually have 2 of their sensors. I have one that's in my bathroom that's been sitting there right behind the basement bathroom toilet for a couple of years, and it still reports 100% battery. So this thing just doesn't use much battery. This one's called Water Heater. And it's super easy to set up because, as you can see on the back, there are 2 metal sensors, and they're really the secret. If there's water, if the electrical sort of current between those 2 closes, then the sensor triggers. So this is just a remote device. You could actually use it without the probe, but the probe makes it much more effective and much more useful. So I can go in here and I can look at my sensor history. I can change Wi-Fi. I can change my location name. Obviously, you can have a whole bunch of these. You can change your notifications. But what I want to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and we're going to put the probe in some water, right? This is the test, the real thing. So let's see what happens. So here we go. And there's a leak. Oh no. Okay, so it's giving me the first beep. Now let's listen. So now it's saying there's still an issue. And then, so that's my alarm sensor, and it's not super loud, but notice in the app, I've got a notification. I got 2 different notifications. So we're gonna go ahead and take it out of there, and that should dry off. So now it'll actually send a notification that the problem's resolved, which is important. If you do get a notification just for a second or 2, I'd definitely check it out, but it could be to do with condensation. If you have an alarm go off and it's going off for a while, that's obviously much more of a big issue. Now, the alarm is supposed to be 80 decibels. I don't think mine is set to that volume. I don't know exactly why, but this is going to be in a remote location anyway, so I'm totally counting on the app to work. And as you saw, the app works. How easy is that? So there's just so much to like with this really simple, elegant solution. And props to them. Their instruction manual is well illustrated, it's clear, it has great photos. The image of how to change the battery absolutely leaves no questions. So when you get this unit and you hook it up and you get it plugged into the app and you install it, keep the instructions or keep them in the box. You'll need them once in a blue moon. But when you do, really well done. I mean, there's a lot of positives. I have no negatives at all. This is just the kind of thing where this is why we have all these smart homes. This is exactly these sort of sensors. And you want to just get a couple of these and put them in key strategic locations in your home or your vacation home or your RV or your garage, right? Anywhere where you could have water leaks that would then be pretty catastrophic. So all good. Simple, straightforward. As you can see, there's really not much to it. There's no buttons, there's no switches, there's no dials, there's no settings, there's no LEDs. It is a set, configure, and forget. And that's exactly what I like from my smart home. So, only thing left to talk about is the price. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. I get my hands on tons of cool gear, and I always give you really straight, really honest reviews. If there are any issues, I will always tell you what those issues are. I'll even occasionally say that you probably shouldn't buy this. They need to do a little more engineering before it's ready. But that is not the case with this. This, so cool, is the SimpleSense Wi-Fi leak detector, and it's $69.95, including the 3-foot leash and 3-foot sensor tail. Let's get the right words. And you can pick that up at Amazon.com. You can also daisy chain these. Apparently, you can actually make it up to a 15-foot probe by buying additional sensor tails off of Amazon. So if you have a sort of scenario or situation where you need to really snake it behind something, this will totally support that. Or you can pick up multiple. I also noticed that if you want to get 3 or 5 especially, the price goes way down. But whatever the deal is, I really like having this. I really am going to be really happy to know that it's just sitting underneath my water heater in case there's, I don't care if there's just like a half a cup of water leaking. I want to know as soon as I possibly can so I can immediately start resolving the situation. And if you're a homeowner, I know you feel the same way. So check this out. That's all I got. I got to go install this. So I'll have to catch you in my next video.